You see how it has bullet holes in it? Yeah, savages still come up here and shoot at her sign. I'm here in South Georgia. I'm at the site for Mary Turner. If you're not familiar with her story, I'm pretty sure you've heard about her, just don't remember her name. Back in 1918, May 19th, 1918, here in Valdosta, Georgia, her husband was lynched, and he didn't do anything but just be black. And the lynch mob had came to her home, took her husband, lynched him on May 18th. The next day, she publicly spoke out about it. She went and pursued charges against those who murdered her husband. As a result, the lynch mob came and took her, and they lynched her just over there. There's a bridge where she was lynched. Mary was also 8 months pregnant, and what happened was she was stripped naked. She was hung upside down by her feet, and the savages threw gasoline on her or kerosene on her, burned her, and then, like that wasn't as terrible as they could be, they cut the fetus out of her stomach, and her child was crying as the child was stomped to death by the savages. I just wanted to share her story so that we do not forget how, you know, black women and black men stood by each other's side, okay? Not only, you know, were we in like the worst of circumstances, but we stood by each other's side. And Mary, being so brave, 8 months pregnant, and stood up for her husband, defended her family. What I do know is that some of her descendants still live here in Valdosta, Georgia, and they get together to honor her and, you know, talk about her story, to make sure that her story doesn't die. So I'm gonna give you some video. I'm gonna also show you her sign, and then I'm gonna... Most recently, there was a mother in South Carolina, and her son had answered the door at about 10 p.m. at night when there was a mob with assault rifles and a sheriff from another jurisdiction. So he was actually a civilian at the time. He was just intimidating them with his uniform, and they were demanding that her son come outside so that they can falsely accuse him or having some kind of involvement with a missing juvenile.
Developing story. A mother and son in Pender County say an armed group terrorized them in their own home. They say the group included an off-duty deputy with the New Hanover County Sheriff's Office. Attorney James Lee wrote a letter on behalf of Monica Sheppard and her son Damien to District Attorney Ben David. It says the group showed up at the Sheppard family's home Sunday asking about a missing 15-year-old girl. Damien and his mom told the group they had the wrong house, and they did not know the girl's whereabouts.
The letter says the deputy, J.T. Kidda, was in uniform and armed and stopped the door from being closed on the home with his foot and demanded to be let in. The attorney's letter says 2 deputies and a captain with the Pender County Sheriff's Office responded, but did not take any action.
And he had nothing to do with it. However, this mother stood up and she prevented her son from being lynched that night. And so just to show you that over 100 years later, these things are still happening. So I want us to make sure that we do not forget about Mary Turner and how she fearlessly and boldly stood up in her... She stood up in her fragile condition and, you know, spoke out about what had been done to her husband, and it's unfortunate that, you know, she met her demise that way, but we cannot let her be forgotten. One thing I want to show y'all about this sign real quick, I want to show you this. Check out how it has bullet holes in it. You see how it has bullet holes in it? Yeah, savages still come up here and shoot at her sign. So it's not enough that, you know, she was murdered in the most gruesome way by savages, but you have to come here and destroy her sign for her memorial. And it just goes to show that there's still some evil people walking around who won't let people rest, won't even let people live in peace. But now she can't even rest in peace. I hope that this story inspires you to look more into our history. Be proud of her, okay, what she did. And she did this for a great reason, okay? And I just want to show the bond that husbands and wives, we need each other, okay? We need each other, and we are each other's vanguard, the united front, okay? So don't allow stuff to keep us divided and make you think that you don't need each other, okay? Black men, black women, we do need each other, and we stand up for our families, okay? Salute to Mary Turner. I'm going to continue spending some more time out here to pay my respects, and I thank you so much for watching, and shout out to everybody who has encouraged me to look into her stories as well. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next video.
Black Power family, I want you to get on this joint and speak from the soul, brother.
Dear white supremacy, you thought that you could finish me, but my elders told me you're my enemy. Sit down the energy to come at you relentlessly, and I won't give up to this justice for what you did to me. Crush you like a centipede, blessed with the strength, smarts, and the speed, and the program to end this misery. Turn my woman against me, and now she look at me like I don't respect her and can't protect the seed. Ignorant and division is what religion breeds, and my mind is deeper than all the 7 seas.